It's the big game, 1979. From Stanford Stadium in Palo Alto, California, it's the Cal Bears versus the Stanford Cardinals. Hello, everybody. I'm Barry Tompkins, and it is a pleasure to share these microphones with my colleague, Ron Barr. Ron, I don't think there's any question about it. Going to be a whole lot of offense in this football game.
I think, Barry, it'll really simply come down to which defense could stop the other's passing attack.
Both teams going to put the ball up a whole lot. Let's talk for just a moment about the California quarterback, Rich Campbell. And there is really little to choose between the two starting quarterbacks in this football game. Campbell so far a 66.8% passer, 2,304 yards in passing with a long gain of 58. Interestingly, I think, Ron, Stanford is a much bigger play kind of team than California.
Well, no doubt about it. Schonert has thrown for 17 touchdowns, the longest for 63 yards. But the interesting aspect of his statistics, not only his yardage of 1,700 yards, but he's only been intercepted 6 times. He's gone the last 5 ball games without having a pass picked off. So Schonert has actually been the man who has made this offense run for Stanford.
Talk for a moment about the men that are going to be thrown to in this football game. The key guy for California, I don't think there's any question about it, Matt Booza, number 10. He will line up very often in a slot formation. California will run 3 wide receivers to one side of the field. But you're going to see that an awful lot, and Booza will run out of the slot. He has been the guy who's made the key catch.
And the big play man for Stanford, number 28, Kenny Marjoram, with 10 touchdown receptions, averaging 19 yards a catch. And he is the man that's going to draw most of the attention from Cal today, probably double, and possibly sometimes with zone coverage, maybe 3 men around it.
84,000 people here at Stanford Stadium, just about set for this one, and we'll be ready with the opening kickoff right after this.
Brought to you in part by Mercedes-Benz.
Off the 82nd renewal of the big game, and it is postcard weather here. Clouds all around the stadium, but blue skies overhead. Mick Luckhurst will kick it off for the Cal Bears. He will be kicking to Vincent White, and this big game is underway. Luckhurst comes forward, boots it away, boots it into the end zone, and White will not come out with this one. Stanford will put it in play, first down and 10 at its own 20-yard line. So the Cardinals, just to set them offensively for you, Turk Schonert will be the quarterback. He wears number 14. Jim Brown will be the starting fullback. 22, Vincent White, the man you just saw field that kickoff, will be the starting running back. Greg Hooper is in at fullback rather than Jim Brown. First offensive play upcoming for the Cardinals. They have the ball at the 20-yard line. Marjoram comes to the near side. Andre Tyler on the same side. In motion now goes White to the far side. Schonert hands off to Hooper. Gets through for about 4 yards to about the 24-yard line. Vincent White, I beg your pardon, not Hooper. So a gain of 4, and you can see just a little bit of sparring going on early. Kirk Karakozov made the stop. Should mention, defensively for California, Dupre Marshall, number 93, is in the starting lineup, but he has a hematoma bruise on his thigh. In fact, Dr. Jerry Patmon told me just before the game that it is enough to fill a unit of blood in his thigh right now. How far he can go is questionable. Marjoram goes in motion to the far side. Schonert will throw on 2nd down and 6. Throws over the middle for the tight end, Bowe. He makes the catch at about the 34-yard line. First down, Stanford. So Ron, Stanford doing something it had not done a great deal during the rest of the season, and that is go to the tight end.
Only Pat Bowe's 14th pass reception of the year, and that has been a play that they feel will be very effective against Cal. They send their wide receivers down long, clearing out the short zone underneath. As you watch Schonert drop back, then you see the short zone right there. Isolated one-on-one is the linebacker Stan Holloway, and Bowe takes the pass reception. Good enough for a first down for Stanford.
Marjoram comes to the near side, and that is Tyler to the far side. White goes in motion, and Schonert will throw on first down. Under pressure this time, and down he goes. Wrapped up that time by Rich Dixon, coming from his outside linebacker position. Rich Dixon coming off an outstanding game in which he was the player of the week 1 week ago against Washington State, and we'll have an opportunity to take another look. Watch Dixon, 47, blow in from the right side.
It's going to be the play of the Cal linebackers. It's going to be crucial for them this afternoon, and more pressure that they can put on Schonert will be more time for the deep secondary than to cover the receivers, and you see that time Dixon really just battling off his man and making the stop.
Greg Braceland, the linebacker, now playing the nose guard position for California. Cardinal shifting, Tyler near side, Marjoram far side, handoff this time, goes to Dotterer. Dotterer tries to get outside, can't do it. gain of maybe a yard, no more. Ulysses Madison, who would come on, and I think Stanford might have been just a little bit confused that time by the California defense. Greg Braceland playing right on the nose of the center.
And giving credit to Fred Williams, the right cornerback, he saw that it was going to be a run over to the left side. He came back up from his cornerback position, and he really upset the play, forcing Dotterer to come to the inside with the rest of the Cal pursuit, then wrapped him up.
So watch number 38, Greg Braceland, playing right on the nose of the center. Not a very big guy, 6'2", 205. He has been the leading tackler for California. They're now in a flex defense in motion. Goes right to the far side. Schonert will throw. Has time this time. Throws for Tyler. Tyler, a tough catch at about the 43-yard line. Going to be a little bit short of the first down, and the Cardinals, I believe, will have to punt it away. Fred Williams, the man defending.
Well, when you have a receiver like Kenny Marjoram that gets double coverage, that means single coverage mostly in the zone. For Andre Tyler, this time Schonert looked to his right, wanted to go right, but then decided to come back and goes to number 25, Andre Tyler, the leading receiver for Stanford, a little bit short of the first down.
Ken Neighbor comes on to punt it away for the Cardinals now, gets the snap. He'll hit it about the 33-yard line, a high spiraling kick. Tyrone Portee will field it at about the 9, juggles it. Now he makes the catch, but no place to go, and he is wrapped up that time by Gordon Banks. Down under that punt very well for the Cardinals, so California will start deep in its own territory.
Gordon Banks, a man that's been the big play man all season long. He had a blocked field goal attempt earlier this season, but watch it here. It's going to be fumbled for just a moment. Then watch number 45 in his pursuit, along with Charlie Bedford, number 61. But it's Gordy Banks who really wraps him up. And Stanford and Cal, neither one very effective on special teams play this season. But so far, Stanford was down there to cover it this time.
Credit Ken Neighbor that time. Good high spiraling punt, good hang time. That let Gordon Banks get under it quickly. And the Bears have it. First down and 10, the ball at their own 9-yard line. Trips left formation this time. Bugs in the slot. Now he goes in motion to the short side of the field. Rich Campbell is the quarterback with Paul Jones the running back. He gets the call straight ahead, gets a few, across the 15 to the 16-yard line before Craig Aubrey, number 65, the nose guard, brings him down for Stanford.
They talk about the passing game of both these ball clubs, Barry, but I think it's going to be interesting to see which team can really establish the run, because everybody looks for the ball to be in the air, and that may take the attention away from some of the running backs on both ball clubs, and we'll have to see which one can really move the ball on the ground first.
Woodard comes to the near side this time. Now Bugs goes into the slot, and Boozer, who lines up in a setback position, now comes out again, a trips left formation with Jones alone setback. Campbell will put it up for the first time, has time, throws deep for Woodard. He's out in front. Woodard makes the catch to 40 to the 35 to the 32-yard line. Rich Campbell to the freshman Greg Woodard, making the catch about a step and a half in front of Rick Parker. And the Bears have the first big play of the afternoon. Rich Campbell with a lot of time to throw.
Obviously, the three men on the one side confused Stanford a little bit. That allowed Woodard to go down deep. And as we watch it from a second angle again, Campbell dropping back. He really had a man open short. But it was Woodard who was the man who got behind Parker and comes up with a 53-yard reception, the first big play of the ball game.
First down, California, the ball at the 31-yard line. Trips right formation this time, in motion to the near side. Now comes Michael Bugs. Jones is the lone setback. He gets the call with room to the 25 to the 20. Tries to get outside, slips a tackle to the 15, gets to the 12-yard line before Steve Foley, the free safety, drags him down, and the Bears are in business.
Cal operating very well, and as we indicated about the run, the pass set up the run that time as Stanford favored the right side with the three receivers over there, and then they just came back.
Credit David Heck that time with the key block to spring Jones to the outside. California able to run, and of course that is the key to any passing team. The Bears have been able to do it so far. Stanford in its first possession was not. Trips right formation this time. Long count by Rich Campbell. Handoff again goes to Jones. Jones running in behind his own interference that time. Gets nowhere. Penalty flag is down. I believe it's going to be a motion penalty against California. Craig Aubrey makes the stop defensively for Stanford.
And that's exactly what it is. As you said, Barry, postcard weather, and amazing because yesterday it rained all day long down here in Northern California, and the field was very wet, but overnight it kind of slackened off a little bit. The sun came out this morning, and this field is in excellent playing condition. There's not going to be any slipping or sliding by either ball club.
This field drains as well as any football field I have ever seen. In fact, there was just not a drop of moisture on the football field, even though, as you mentioned, it did rain most of the night. Procedure call against California, so they will now have it first and 15 at the 18-yard line. They shift again into a trips right formation. Joe Rose is the tight end. Rich Campbell straight back to pass this time. Kind of a delayed blitz that time, and the outlet pass for Jones is going to go nowhere. Going to be a loss of about 4 yards on a play back to the 23. Charles Bedford getting a start, and Chuck Evans make the stop defensively for Stanford. That time kind of a delayed blitz for the Cardinals.
Stanford not really too sure about their defense against Cal, but Chuck Evans was the key here. He fought off the block on the left side, and as you see, Evans is there to finish off the play. He really jammed it up and forced the play to the inside, where the Stanford pursuit then was able to drop him for a loss.
Stanford now goes to a 5th deep back on 2nd and 20. Bears should try to get it back here in increments, I would think. This time it is Portee in the slot. Campbell straight back to throw under pressure. Throws over the middle, has Rose at the 5-yard line to the 3-yard line. Touchdown, California. Rich Campbell hanging in that time as Chuck Evans just blew in on him from his left tackle position. Campbell held his ground, threw the pass, complete for the touchdown to Joe Rose.
Well, they don't go to Rose very much, but that time it certainly did work. Now watch Campbell here, number 19, Evans, number 89, coming in, really had a good shot, but he had to take an outside route that allowed Campbell to keep his concentration. He hits Rose, and then Rose does the rest himself as he goes in for the first touchdown of the ball game.
Stanford, or rather California, 92 yards in 5 plays. A very impressive drive for the Golden Bears in their first possession. Mick Luckhurst on to try the point. He'll try it out of the hole to Drew Field. It's spotted, it's placed, it's kicked, it's good. And with 9 minutes, 54 seconds remaining to be played here in the first quarter, it's the Cal Bears 7 and the Stanford Cardinals nothing. Cardinals unable to move the football. They had to punt it away. California has it. 7:13 to go first period. First down at the 18-yard line. Misdirection play this time to Tuggle. Good yardage to the 32. First down, California. Rick Parker makes the tackle on a counter play that time. Running behind Harvey Salem. Watch 73.
73, Harvey Salem was the man that sprung the block for Tuggle. Now watch, Tuggle comes through the hole, then changes direction. Tuggle is a young freshman who has matured each week.
First down 10, California. Gain of 12 on that play. Tuggle and Jones, now the running back, split behind Rich Campbell. Boozer to the near side. This is Jones, tries the left side. Nobody home there. Charles Bedford stacks him up after a gain of about a yard, maybe 2, no more than that.
Interesting to see Charles Bedford playing at linebacker. Started the season as an offensive lineman and then was moved because of the number of injuries that Stanford has at linebacker. And he's been playing there the last couple of weeks. I asked him about the change. He says it's really not too much different, except for you have to use a little more energy because you do a little more running around.
Second down and 9 at the 33. Gain of a yard on that play. California now comes with 3 wide receivers. Bugs to the near side. Booza in the slot inside of Woodard. Campbell will throw. Short drop. Throws it out for Woodard. Makes the catch at the 45. Starts the slip by the man. Gets to the 47. First down, California. Rick Jervis makes the stop.
Stanford certainly respecting Cal's ability to go deep after Woodard went for 53 yards. This time they play off of the man and give him the short pass. But it's good for another first down for Cal.
I think you could see the poise of Rich Campbell right now. Very different quarterback than he was a year ago in this football game. He took a short drop that time, ran the out to Greg Woodard. When he ran deep to Woodard, he took a deep drop. So we'll see what Rich Campbell does as time goes on. Bugs in the slot now, and it trips left. Campbell will throw on first down. Under pressure, throws a screen to the tight end, Joe Rose. Has room to midfield, 45, 40, 35, to about the 31-yard line. First down, California. Milt McCall makes the stop. Well executed play that time for the Bears.
Barry, you talked about the poise of Campbell, and that was another example of it. Now watch him look left. He's looking left, showing Stanford he may go that direction, then turns and goes right. I think ever since the UCLA game last year when he was intercepted 5 times, the rest of the season was disaster for him. But this year he shows he has that poise and that confidence, this time going to the tight end for the big gainer.
First down, Bears the ball at the 31-yard line. California has moved the football consistently in this football game. Campbell hands off to Jones this time. Stutter step, gets a couple across the 30 to about the 29-yard line. Aubrey and Ballinger make the stop for the Cardinals.
Play selection very well for Cal right now. As you take a look at the Stanford bench, they're mixing their plays, setting up the run again to set up the passing situation. And this is certainly a different Cal team than what we've seen the last couple years in the big game. As you take a look at some puffy clouds, a little bit dark on the bottom, maybe some sprinkles, but no real threat of rain.
5:12 to go. First period, the Bears driving again, the ball at the 28-yard line. In the slot is Boozer. Campbell will throw again. Under pressure, steps up. Hit as he throws for Woodard. Woodard makes the catch at the 3. Touchdown, California. Terry Redeker was the man who had Rich Campbell in his arms, and Campbell just showing great poise. and Woodard looked to be confused. It didn't look to me like Woodard knew really where the route was until he saw the ball in the air.
I think he improvised on that, Barry, but give credit really to Rich Campbell. He was the man that made it work as Terry Reneker was coming in, really had a shot at him, but he got a last-minute block that allowed him to get the pass off. And as you said, Woodard really not too sure where he was going to go, but Campbell improvised, Woodard improvised, and Cal comes up with their second touchdown.
Stanford is going to have to play a whole lot of catch-up right here. The Bears lead at 13-zip. Luckhurst is on to try to add the 14th point. He'll hit it at the 10-yard line out of the hold of field. Spotted, placed, kicked, and good. With 5 minutes remaining to be played here in the first period. The whole story of the 82nd renewal of the big game is the Cal Bears. They lead it 14-0. You look at the Stanford bench, and right now I'm sure there is cause for some concern on the Cardinal sidelines. Cardinal defense really having to rally, and Roger Theodore right now, I'm sure a very confident man. His team leads 14-0. Rich Campbell, Ron, has been simply awesome.
6 for 6, 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. You can't ask for any better. Stanford does not look like they're prepared for this game defensively. They're not able to stop Cal at doing anything. They're able to run, they're able to pass short, they're able to pass long. You got to give credit for Cal for their execution, but it's Stanford who's not making any of the adjustments right now.
California gives you a lot of looks offensively. Luckhurst will kick it off. He'll be kicking off to Vincent White. He's been the busiest man in the stadium so far today. Comes forward, boots it. Again, angles it to the sideline, and this will be Tyler who will take it at the 10, to the 15, to about the 20-yard line, wrapped up right there by the California defense. And Stanford will put it in play. First down and 10 at the 21. On the Stanford bench again, a little bit of cause for concern, although there doesn't really seem to be too much worry on the faces of the Stanford Cardinals right now. They have a whole world of time left. 3 1/3 quarters. Plenty of time, and they have an offense that puts points on the scoreboard in a hurry. First down, Cardinals. Knows the football just over the 20-yard line. Marjorie to the near side, Tyler to the far side. Running backs are White and Hooper. Behind the quarterback, Kurt Schonert. Short drop, throws for Marjorie, makes the catch to 25 to the 30 to the 32-yard line. Ahmad Anderson and Darnell Chapman make the tackle. That time just a little slant. And Kenny Marjoram, without question, the outstanding receiver in the Pac-10 Conference, makes the reception.
He only makes the receptions if they're difficult. That one was relatively easy, and I think Stanford's going to have to do a little bit more of that because they're going to protect the deep zone against Kenny Marjoram and give him the short, and that's one of the way of changing up the play and the momentum of this game.
Marjoram comes to the near side again. Tyler comes down right on the line of scrimmage. Handoff this time goes to Dotterer. Dotterer gets about 2 to about the 34-yard line. It'll be second down and 8.
I don't know whether Fred Williams sensed something or not, but he came up from his right quarterback position and jammed in the right side of the defensive line, and that forced the man to go inside a little bit more than maybe what he would have wanted to. Pickup of only about 2.5 will make it second and a long 7.
They're showing a lot of defensive looks as well. Right now, Reggie Camp and Rich Stokowski in the ball game along the defensive line. It is second down and long, and Schonert will throw. Has time. A lot of time, throws back against the grain for Tyler, and Tyler is really cracked by Freddie Williams. The ball from Schonert was thrown a little bit high, and I doubt that Tyler would have been able to make the catch under the best of circumstances, but he's going to remember that one.
Cal has certainly, take a look at the nose guard.
What the nose guard is doing is he's essentially just playing a zone. He is not putting any pressure on the quarterback, but is just playing the equivalent of a short zone. That really, in essence, will take away the tight end out of the Stanford offense.
Also, what Cal is doing is taking a page out of last week's game from Oregon, where they only rush sometimes 2 men, maybe 3 men.
Larry Harris in the ball game for Tyler now, as Tyler really took a shot. Reverse coming to Marjoram. Marjoram comes to the near side to the 30, gets outside to the 35 to the 40, hurdles a man to the 45, cracked down that time by Stan Holloway at about the 45-yard line. But Kenny Marjoram picks up enough for the first down.
Simply the wide receiver around, as you see Marjoram getting the handoff, and now he makes an excellent effort. But watch the crack that he takes here. He goes up in the air, and oh, does he get laid out by Stan Holloway. But he bounced right back up. As you watch it again, Dotterer to Marjoram. Marjoram coming around, and it's Schonert who's out front leading with a block.
First down Cardinals, and credit Kenny Marjoram with a great run, and he took a good shot that time from Stan Holloway at the end of it. This time in the slot comes Larry Harris. It is Tyler to the far side, and the handoff this time to Hooper, and Hooper gets 1, maybe 2, down in the arms of Pat Graham, 78, the left tackle defensively. for California.
Stanford not really doing the job up front on their offensive line. Hines and Neal on the left side that time were blocking for him, and they didn't sustain their blocks very well, but give, again, Cal credit defensively as they're doing some switching and some looping out there, and I don't think Stanford offensively can figure out how to get the right angles for the block.
Cardinals been unable to run so far, and that, of course, has been the key to the California success. When you can run, of course, it's that much easier to pass. 2:59 remaining to be played in the first period. The Cardinals have it 2nd down and 9. Ball at the 46. Hooper goes in motion, leaving Goddard with a lone setback. Everybody in a pattern this time. Schoner throws. Tough catch made that time by Goddard. First down Cardinals at the 43-yard line of California.
Could have possibly been called interference. Watch number 55, Stan Holloway. The man is going to be coming across the middle out of the backfield. That'll be Dotterer. And you can see he's all over him at the time, but he still makes his concentration, or keeps his concentration, and makes the catch. So Stanford now moving the ball offensively for the first time this afternoon.
Schoner showing good poise, too, as he was under pressure that time with the California down 3. First down, 10 Cardinals. Play action, fumble. I believe the Bears have it. Ron Hill, now it's gotten back. It is gotten back that time by Schoner. Ron Hill had it in his chest, and Schoner took it away from him.
That's certainly not the first time that Schoner has fumbled. We had one a little bit earlier, but I noticed on one of the other snaps in this drive, he was unable to get the ball. That time, Vincent White, I think, took a wider route than what Schoner thought he might do. And as you see, the fumble, and then the ball pops up, and it goes right back into Schoner's hands. So Stanford gets a break, but they lose a yard.
2nd down, 11 yards to go for the first down for the Cardinals. To the near side, this time comes Harris. To the far side is Marjoram, who now comes in motion in the I formation. Play action this time. Schoner with a lot of time to throw the football. Bears just trying to contain him. Now he throws, has a man. It's his tight end, Bo. Bo makes the catch at the 30, gets down to the 28-yard line, and the Cardinals have another first down.
That time it was a difficult decision by Ulysses Madison. As you watch Schoner go back, fake twice. He had 2 men in the area. He had Dotter, the short man, and he had Pat Bowe, the deep man. So he could have gone to either one, but it was Madison who didn't know really which one to catch or to cover as he comes over and upsets Pat Bowe. But Stanford picks up a first down. They're inside the Cal 30.
At the 28-yard line, first down Cardinals. Near side this time is Tyler. Marjoram to the far side in the I formation with Vincent White, the tailback. He gets the call, tries the left side, gets by one man, spins away to the 20, gets to about the 18-yard line. That time, Freddie Williams, coming up from his cornerback, ran right by Vincent White, and White managed to pick up some pretty good yardage on individual effort.
That's the first tackle I believe the deep 4 for Cal has had to make this afternoon. Stanford not looking that potent on offense, but this is really, I think, Gary, the key drive for them, because if they had not moved the ball this time, we could have been facing a blowout this afternoon. Cal with a lot of confidence on offense.
2nd down and short now, and the Cardinals come with 2 tight ends. Saylor and Bowe both in the ballgame. This is Hooper, tries the outside, has the first down, I believe, maybe not. Might have been stopped short of the first down as Greg Braceland came up to make the stop along with Ahmad Anderson, forcing the play from his left cornerback position.
One of the plays that Stanford used effectively against Arizona State was a bootleg by Schoner with the flow going one direction and Schoner going the other. And that might be a play that they use right now in this situation as they have 3rd and only a foot to go. On that play, Schoner has the option of either keeping it, picking up the first down, or throwing to an open man maybe in the end zone.
3rd down and short now for the Cardinals, again in the I formation. Schoner keeps and has the first down to about the 16-yard line. And Stanford keeps possession and keeps the drive going. Turk Schoner showing a lot of poise. Both quarterbacks, in fact, in this game, showing an awful lot of poise. Rich Campbell, just a junior. Turk Schoner, a senior, playing in his last collegiate game, barring, of course, any all-star appearances. And we have reached the end of the first quarter. The end of the first 15 minutes of play with the score, the Cal Bears 14 and the Stanford Cardinals nothing. We'll be back. We start the second 15 minutes of play. The first 15 was California. Stanford is driving now. They trail by 2 touchdowns. Not by any means too late. Turk Schoner with a first down rather, 10 yards to go, and trying the outside that time is Dotterer. There's nobody home, a loss of a yard maybe. Ron Hill makes the stop for California.
Ron Hill made the stop. The second man will get the ball. That's Dotter as he tries to slip to the outside. Ron Hill coming up from his linebacking position just wraps up Dotterer. Good effort by Hill.
2nd down, 11 yards to go for the Cardinals now. This time Marjoram comes to the outside, the far side, as the only wide receiver. 2 tight ends in the ball game. Schoner will throw on 2nd down over the middle. Has White to the 5. Touchdown Stanford. Vincent White on the receiving end of that Turk Schonert pass. Schonert showing again, just hanging in there a lot of time. The Bears not by any means putting any kind of a rush on him. Hit Vincent White over the middle, and White took it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
Well, this has been Stanford's bread and butter play. Why go to your wide receivers when they're covered when you could send backs out of the backfield? That time they went to Vincent White. White, as you see, free across the center. Now Darnell Chapman has a shot at him. Cannot get him, and he goes in for the first 6 points for Stanford. So we've got a 14-6 game, and Neighbor comes on to make it 14-7, or at least try.
80 yards in 13 plays. Neighbor out of the hold of Elway. Spotted, placed, kicked, and good. With 14 minutes, 22 seconds remaining to be played in the first half. We may be here a long time, folks. It's the Bears 14 and the Cardinals 7. 6 minutes, 57 seconds remaining to be played here in the first half. The Cardinals had to punt it away back to California, and that's where the game has been played in the last 4 series, between the 30 and the 30. The Bears have it at the 32-yard line now. First down and 10, handoff straight ahead to Jones. Jones goes down in the arms of Dennis Engel after a gain of about 3 yards across the 35, maybe to the 36-yard line. They spotted short of the 36 at the 35. A gain of 3. Second down, 7 for California now.
Where else in the United States in the middle of November, can you be without a shirt? But right here in Northern California, 86,000 people, some people on the hillside looking on. A great tradition and a great game.
It really is a beautiful sight here at Stanford Stadium. Second down, 7 yards to go now for California. Michael Buggs to the near side. Back split behind Campbell are Tuggle and Jones. Jones to the short side, slips by one man, gets to the 38-yard line. Gain of about 4 yards. Doug Rogers makes the tackle for Stanford. Credit the California offensive line, because really there was nobody there and first contact wasn't made for 3 or 4 yards.
Rogers, a sophomore, has not seen a lot of action this season. Started at nose guard, but was moved to the outside the last couple of games in preparation for replacing Chuck Evans, who will graduate this year. So he's in there right now with Chuck Evans as they're each playing a defensive tackle position.
So third down and 4, and this really is a passing down for California. Jones now shifts into the setback position as Buggs comes out to the short side. Campbell will throw, has time, throws a screen for Jones. Big yardage to the 40, steps away at the 45 to the 50 to the 48-yard line. First down, California. Greg Zelmer was the man who had him, and Paul Jones just stepped out of the tackle. David Heck and Greg Stubblefield upfield on a well-executed screen pass.
Zelmer had an opportunity to keep him from getting that first down. Number 52, watch him. He has a shot at Jones, but Jones is so strong, or at least from the waist down, he just steps right out of the grasp of Zelmer, and he goes right down to the 48.
First down, 10 Bears at the 48-yard line. To the near side is Boozer. To the far side, Michael Buggs. Tuggle and Jones are the setbacks behind Rich Campbell. More traditional set now for California. Campbell with a long count. Hands off this time on a misdirection play to Tuggle. Tuggle gets down across the 45 to about the 43-yard line. And again, I want to point out right now that California's offensive line is blowing Stanford back off the line of scrimmage, because when the first contact is made, the man is 3 or 4 yards downfield.
And I don't know that it's so much of the fact that they're blowing them off the line, Barry, as much as Stanford is waiting to see what the play is going to be and then reacting to it. The same situation they had against USC when they gave up 21 points in the first half.
Gain of 3 on first down at 2nd and 7 now. Again, Buggs near side, Boozer far side. Long count by Campbell. Misdirection to the other side this time. Tuggle the ball carrier again. Gets a couple this time to about the 38-yard line, 42-yard line rather. Duker, Dapper, and Chuck Evans. Duker, Dapper certainly on the all-moniker team.
You know how he got the name Duker?
I'd love to hear this.
His dad was in the Brooklyn Dodger organization, and he named him after Duke Snider.
That's fascinating.
Not really.
Mildly fascinating. Joe Rose and Don Sprague, 2 tight ends in the ball game for California now on 3rd and 4, but Sprague splits to the near side. Now the Bears shift again. Strange looking shift. Tuggle and Jones are the running backs now behind Campbell. And this time Jones gets the call, struggles short of the first down to about the 38. And this will call for the first real decision to be made on the California bench. Now, the Bears have been inconsistent in making decisions like this at this juncture. I would think today they'll go for it because they have been able to run the football fairly well. It'll be 4th down, a little over a yard to go for the first down.
Be interesting to see if Stanford pulls the linebackers and everybody up in tight, and then maybe Cal does something to the wide side of the field.
Crowd comes alive, both rooting sections on their feet. 4th down, about a yard. Tuggle and Jones, the running backs, 2 tight ends in the ball game for California. And that time, Rich Campbell had expected Michael Buggs to come in motion. I don't know if we can take a look at this. Let's ask Niels Mello, our director. Oh, Niels, can we take a look at this? You take a look at Rich Campbell kind of pick his heel up. Watch him pick his heel up here. And what that means is for Michael Buggs to come in motion. But Buggs didn't do it. But this is a still picture, so we probably won't see Rich Campbell pick his heel up. But that, in any case, is an indication for the man on the outside to go in motion. Buggs didn't go in motion, and Campbell called a timeout. So he will take advantage of the opportunity to talk it over with the brain trust of the California coaching staff, Al Saunders, the offensive coordinator, and Roger Theater. And the scoreboard pretty much tells the story of this football game. The Bears 14 and the Cardinals 7. For Rich Campbell so far in the ball game, 9 out of 14 for 178 yards. After he'd missed 4 passes in a row, Matt Booza yet to catch a pass, and Booza has been the hottest receiver on this California team. Interestingly, Roger Theater had told me when we had dinner together earlier this week that he was not going to go to his tight end a whole lot. Roger lies a lot. He's thrown to Joe Rose 4 times for 81 yards. Greg Woodard has made the 2 big catches.
I think that speaks for itself, Barry, that you're not a very good security risk.
For Paul Jones so far, 11 carries, 58 yards for California.
This has been a fast-moving ball game. It looked like it was going to be a horse race with Cal running up and down the field, but we only have 3:22 to go in the half, and it's 14-7.
4th down a yard for California. Buggs, the only wide receiver, to the near side. Now in motion to the short side goes Tuggle, and the handoff goes to Jones. Cuts it back as the first down and more across the 35 to the 33-yard line, and the Bears keep possession. Don Sprague and John Tuggle clearing the way for Paul Jones, who got a lot of it on his own before Charles Bedford, coming up from his inside linebacker position, makes the tackle for Stanford.
Certainly makes a lot of sense to go with your power, and that would, in that case, happens to be Paul Jones. So what you do is you send Tuggle in motion, let him be the leading blocker, and then you give the ball off to Jones and let him get the yardage.
3 minutes, 3 seconds left to be played here in the first half. The Bears have it 1st and 10 at the Stanford 35. Campbell will throw on a short drop, throws the out for Buggs, makes the catch at the 25. It'll be about a yard short of the first down, steps out of bounds. That stops the clock with 2 minutes, 53 seconds remaining to be played here in the first half.
Stanford that time with Jervis, the short man. They had McMillan as the deep man to cover, and they respect Buggs' speed as we watch it again. But I think they ought to be playing him a little bit tighter. All this is down 15 yards and go to the outside, and they could make that pass all day long.
Spotter Bob Monsbach points out that Joe Rose was open on a curl, and we'll see now if the California coaching staff might have picked out that and won't come back with that same play, only coming over the middle. The Bears scored a touchdown with an over-the-middle reception to Joe Rose.
Cal definitely the best 5-5 team in the country. They lost a couple of real tough games in the late going, USC, Washington, and also UCLA. It's going to be a little bit short, so Rich Campbell really has some experimenting that he could do right here, as he only needs less than a foot to go for the first down. Let's see if he doesn't fake something into the middle of the line and maybe go long for somebody over the middle.
The Bears, interestingly, do not run a lot of play action. Most of the passing that they do is pretty much straight drop back. In fact, they've had very little success running play action.
You can see the distance right there, a little more than a length of a football.
Second down, a yard to go. This is one of those that the defense has to guess. Buggs near side, Booza far side, long count by Rich Campbell. Hand off to Jones, the short side, the weak side, gets down across the 20 to the 19, fumble, and let's see, it might have been after the whistle, I don't know. They say it is California's possession at about the 20-yard line, and it is a Bear first down.
Take a look at Paul Jones isolated. He'll take the handoff, but give a lot of credit to Brian Bailey and Don Hudson on the left side, as they provided the blocking that allowed Jones to easily pick up the first down. They're doing a nice job over there. They're just blowing out, sustaining their blocks, and then Jones is reading which way they're blocking and then working to the opposite direction to pick up the yardage.
I'd also point out Rich Campbell using the clock extremely well here. 2:33 to go in the first half. Buggs comes to the near side. In the slot this time is Portee. A delay this time to Jones, and Jones with a good defensive play. That's
We interrupt this.
going to be pretty close, I think.
So far on short yardage situation, Cal has shown that they favor the left side of their offensive line for blocking. That's Don Hudson and Brian Bailey. But I think too, Barry, it's going to be a little bit short, and if I were Cal, I'd go ahead and go for it. They've got the clock. If they don't get it, they can. I still think that I think they can pick it up, though.
It is, in fact, just a couple of inches short. And the Bears are going to go for it. In situations like this in the past, they have snuck for it. So a big play here. This ball game, this is a 14-point swing on this play. Those are the football just over the 10-yard line. 4th down, a yard to go for California. Their second 4th down situation of this drive. Rich Campbell is the quarterback. Paul Jones is the lone setback. Campbell, a long count, sneaks for it, and I believe he got it. Rich Campbell that time just stepped inside between the center, David Heck, and his weak side guard, Brian Bailey, and I believe he has enough for the first down. He does. And not much more than that, I'll tell you that. First down, California. And Rich Campbell has used the clock on this drive just brilliantly. If I'm not mistaken, the Bears had got the ball with about 3:28 to go in the first half. And the clock still runs with 48 seconds remaining to be played. The ball at the 9-yard line. Bogues to the near side. Booz to the far side. On the wing is John Tuggle, and that makes him a very capable pass receiver. Campbell will throw. Throws to the deep corner and intercepted beautifully that time by Rick Parker. Parker comes back 15-20, 25-30, 35-yard line, finally dragged down at the 38. David Heck, the man who makes the tackle, but a brilliant interception that time by Rick Parker, who stepped in front of Michael Buggs.
Michael Buggs was in the end zone, but Parker had it read. Really, Campbell should not have thrown this pass because Parker had this one covered all the way. This was all Parker's ball, and it was underthrown. Parker decided to down it and then decides to come back. Actually intended for Matt Booza. As you can see, he comes right back. So a big break for Stanford as they have 27 seconds now to work with.
Tyler comes to the near side. Marjoram in the slot. Now let's see if Stanford is contented. A deep snap out of the short punt formation. The shotgun shown up with a lot of time. Throws for Marjoram on the curl. Marjoram makes the catch at the 45-yard line. There are 19 seconds left to be played.
I'm wondering if maybe they threw short to Marjoram to try to set up something long here, Barry. That is really the first bad pass that Rich Campbell has thrown. He had a lot of time. And I think he just underestimated Rick Parker's ability to get over and cover that area.
For Turk Schonert so far, he's not having a bad afternoon. 11 out of 13. That's not too bad at all, is it? For 107 yards. And the Bears only putting token pressure on him.
Jervis, the leading interceptor on the Stanford Ball Club with 4. Parker had not recorded one until today. He was one of those seniors that said, you know, I've been here for 4 years now, and my first year as a freshman, I didn't lose to Cal, and I don't want to leave here losing to Cal either. First time they've thrown out of the shotgun, something that's been very effective. It gives Schonert an opportunity to look over the defense a little bit more, also to watch the patterns that the receivers are running. Let's see if he does it again.
Stanford this time comes with just 2 wide receivers. They had 3 the last time. Gordon Banks now in the slot inside of Tyler. In motion this time comes Hooper to the long side of the field. Direct snap goes to Schonert out of the shotgun. A lot of time to throw the football again. Deep throw this time from Vincent White. He makes the catch at the 30-yard line, and it's the Cardinals who are now in business. And a complete turnaround right here as Stanford moves the football, calls for its second timeout. It still has 1 remaining to it. And right now, they are certainly within range for Ken Neighbor.
And again, the thing that makes this work is he's going to his backs coming out of the backfield, sending his wide receivers down long and clearing out the underneath zone and just dropping it in. This is what Stanford should have been doing during the whole first half. As you can see, Vincent White clean open, but has to make a good step. I think they'll get one more play off, something along the sideline, probably trying to stop the clock and then bring Neighbor in.
They still do have a timeout that they can use to bring on the kicking team if, in fact, they decide to use the middle of the field.
A kick from here, if they were to go for the field goal, would be one of about 47 yards. Neighbor, 56 yards is longest, and that was the one that won the game against UCLA. As you look at number 10, Kenny Neighbor, a guy that took ballet in high school to help his kicking ability.
Big psychological edge, too, scoring the last points before going into the locker room at halftime. It looked like California was going to do that, and instead we've come the other way on the interception by Rick Parker, and a pretty good return after that interception. 2 complete Turk Schonert passes, the last one to Vincent White, and that's where we are now. Second down and 3, although that's really immaterial. The ball at the 30-yard line. Again in the shotgun. And Schonert with all day to throw the football again. Throws for Marjoram. Tough catch at the 15. by Kenny Marjoram, a diving catch, and timeout is called again with 6 seconds remaining, and that will bring about the presence of Ken Parker.
It was announced today that Kenny Marjoram has been named to the Bob Hope Kodak All-American team, and this is the reason why. Watch this pass reception. He loves to dive in the air. They call him a flake, but he has got great concentration, runs great routes, and when they need the yardage, that's the man they go to. That certainly puts him well within Kenny Neighbor field goal range. He'll kick this one from the right hash mark. It'll be a kick of, well, they'll place it down about the 22. That would make it a 32-yard field goal, and I think we're going to have a heck of a second half coming up.
Been a pretty good first half, too, actually. All offense, a lot of offense, and a brief period where the defense dominated, and there were 4 exchanges of punts, but you see the story right now. 6 seconds remaining to be played. Ken Neighbor, not Parker, as I referred to him a moment ago, is on to try the field goal. Neighbor 8 out of 13 with a long, as Ron mentioned, of 56 yards. He will hit it at the 22, 32-yard attempt. He will do so out of the hold of John Elway. Elway, of course, a guy we're going to be seeing an awful lot of in the next 3 years here at Stanford. Bears show just an 8-man front, and it is on his way, and it is no good. Kind of a strip kick, and he really booted it way off to the left. So if there is any psychological edge, it belongs to California, not to the Stanford Cardinals. That's the way the first half ends. The Cal Bears 14 and the Stanford Cardinals 7. We'll be back with kind of a retrospective look of big games past right after this.
This program.
(14-7) here at halftime. The Bears leading the Cardinals. Ron, it looked like it was really going to be a big offensive show, and it wound up being a lot of offensive statistics, but really not that much scoring, as it turned out.
Well, Cal had an opportunity to really blow Stanford out when they were driving for another score, but Stanford was able to stop them. Take a look at the Cal first touchdown. This is going to be a pass across the center. It's going to go to the tight end Rose, and as you said, Campbell just was beautiful in that first half as he completed his first 7 passes. And this one goes right across the center to Rose. It's good for 23 yards and made it 6-0. Rose, the big tight end. Cal not going to their tight end just that much this season, but this time he puts a shoulder down and against Steve Foley goes into the end zone. It was 14-0. Cal at one point, and Stanford was able to finally come back. Their offense was really not that effective in the first quarter, and their defense just could not figure out Cal in the first, I would say, a little more than a quarter of play. But then they started moving the ball with Schonert hitting some passes to his backs coming out of the backfield, and it was actually a pass to one of his backs, Vincent White, over the middle, good for 17 yards that cut it to 14-7. Let's watch it. Schonert operating 2nd and 11 from the Cal 17-yard line, looks back, does not find anybody long to throw to, and White coming out of the backfield, just looping across the center, takes it and goes in, takes a good shot, but still goes in to make it 14-7 at that point.
Caught the Bears that time in a blitzing situation. Rich Dixon coming from the strong side, and White ran the curl right underneath where Rich Dixon had come from.
Cal had an opportunity then to go up 21-7. They were driving inside the 15 of Stanford, but Rick Parker picked off a pass and returned it to the 30, and in the final minute of play, Stanford started moving the ball right back upfield, with Schonert hitting passes to Kenny Marjoram and also to Vincent White. They moved it down inside the 20. That's when Kenny Neighbor tried a 32-yard field goal. Now, he prefers to kick because he kicks from the left side. He prefers to kick from the left hash mark, but this is on the right hash mark. At the 22, it'll be spotted by John Elway. It's down in plenty of time, but he hooks it off to the left side. So instead of Stanford trailing by 4 points, 14-10, they now still trail by 7.
Still 30 minutes of football remaining to be played. We're going to be back to take a look at the first half statistics, and we'll do that right after this. Well, let's take a look at the statistics after the first 30 minutes of football, and they are rather lopsided in favor of the California Golden Bears. First downs, the Bears have 4 more than do the Stanford Cardinals. 96 yards rushing that is very significant, I think, in the fact that California, when it has been able to run the football, that has made the passing attack that much better, to only 27 yards rushing for Stanford. Yards passing 199 for the Bears, 147 for the Cardinals. 13 out of 15 for Turk Schonert in the first half of a brilliant performance. 11 out of 17 for Rich Campbell. Total offense, 295 yards for the Cal Bears, 174 yards for the Stanford Cardinals. There hasn't been a turnover in the football game. 2 fumbles for Stanford, but they recovered both of them. And as we mentioned, the whole story has been the passing attack. And that is 13 out of 15 for Turk Schonert, 11 out of 17 for Rich Campbell. So the numbers not indicative so much of the scoreboard, which shows the Bears 14 and the Stanford Cardinals 7. There was, of course, the one interception. We talk about turnovers, and there was that one interception, and that was a key interception, that by Rick Parker in the end zone off of Rich Campbell. 30 minutes of football remaining, and we'll be back with the second half kickoff right after this. This portion of the big game, 1979, is brought to you by Datsun, who invites you to test drive the exclusive new King Cab, the only small pickup with inside jump seats. The #1 savings and loan with assets over $11 billion. And by the Quasar dealers of Northern California, who feature Quasar microwave ovens, video cassette systems, and televisions. Quasar, one great idea after another. Well, you can see a lot of joviality going on the Stanford sidelines, particularly from that gray-haired gentleman. Ken Neighbor kicks it off and kicks it in and out of the end zone. California will have it first down 10 at its own 20-yard line to start the second half of play.
Ken Neighbor possibly a little bit mad at himself for missing that 32-yard field goal. Took it out on the kickoff as he kicked it clean out of the end zone. Individually, statistically, in the first half, Paul Jones with a great first half. 70 yards on 15 carries, as long as 19 yards. Tuggle with 24 yards for Stanford. They have had trouble running the ball, and that shows in the stats, with White with 12 yards and Marjoram with 11.
Now it could come down to coaching. Let's see what kind of adjustments each team made to start the second half. Booza near side, Bugs far side. First down for the Bears. The running backs split behind Rich Campbell, John Tuggle, and Paul Jones, as they have been all day. To the short side, it is Jones, and Jones gets about 3 to about the 23-yard line. Steve Ballinger, the right tackle defensively for Stanford, makes the tackle. Nothing fancy there, just a short side sweep with Paul Jones cutting inside the tackle. On the sidelines, Roger Theater always remains very calm. His expressions won't change a great deal. Be he ahead, be he behind, it really doesn't make much difference. We're on the other sideline, Rod Dowhauer, and he too, not a man of emotion. Second down and 6, they call it a gain of 4 for Jones. This time it is Booza to the near side. Campbell play action this time. Throws it out here, has a man, Booza, on a comeback pattern, but they say no. It hit the ground first. Rick Parker defending for Stanford.
Parker with the interception of Booza in the end zone toward the end of the first half. That time he was playing off of about 5 to 6 yards. And as Booza sprinted down the field, he gave him 3 or 4 yards clearance. But then Booza made a simple little curl pattern to the inside, but the throw from Campbell a little bit short.
14:24 remaining here in the third quarter. Just underway, 14-7 ball game. California leads it. Third down, 6 now for the Bears. They shift into a trips right formation. 5 deep backs in the game for the Cardinals. Campbell straight back to throw. Has everybody in the pattern. Throws a looping pass, which is intercepted by Foley. Foley comes back to the 35, to the 33-yard line. Upended there by Greg Woodard, but the Cardinals get the first break of the second half. They are in business.
Second bad pass by Rich Campbell. The other one was intercepted as well. Foley that time with the deep coverage from his free safety position just could sit back there and watch the way the ball was. He cut in on it, picked it off, and then returned it, giving Stanford excellent field position at the Cal 32.
Campbell just kind of kited the ball right into the middle of the zone, and Rich doesn't usually throw those kinds of passes. Take another look. You can see a wobbly kind of pass, really underthrew it, and Foley was right there playing center field to pick it off. First down, Cardinals. Play action, Schonert. The Bears coming after him. Schonert rolls away this time, comes back across the grain to Marjoram. He makes the catch to 23. It'll be close to a first down for the Cardinals. Greg Braceland makes the tackle. Stanford right in business early on here in the third period.
One of the strengths of Turk Schonert is his ability to look all around the field and then pick a receiver who maybe was covered the first time he looked. As you see him scrambling out to the right, now he still continues to look left. He improvises with Kenny Marjoram and lays it right in there.
That's the 5th reception of the afternoon for Kenny Marjoram. And interestingly, the Bears just covering him with single coverage, although he will roll the zone to his side a lot. Play action again. Schonert will throw. Has time. Throws for the end zone. Marjoram diving catch. Can't hang on.
And Marjoram is really mad at himself. He felt he had a good shot at it. Darnell Chapman was the man who was covering. Now take a look. As Schonert fakes nicely twice, Hooper fell down trying to block. Donner was also out in the pattern, but the ball intended for Marjoram right through his hands. But I tell you what, he gave it a great effort.
Just a matter of a foot or so. The difference between a touchdown for Stanford and a 3rd down and a yard to go. Marjoram comes to the near side this time. In motion now goes White to the short side. Schonert rolls right. Will throw. Has time again. The Bears just can't seem to get to him. Now he'll run to the 20 to about the 18-yard line, and that will be a 1st down for the Cardinals. Ron Hill runs him out of bounds, but not before Turk Schonert takes care of business by himself.
Another offensive set from Stanford that time, using 2 tight ends, Rose and Pat Bowe. They stayed in tight, giving the blocking that Schonert needed to have, but he didn't have a receiver open. Cal doing a nice job in the defensive secondary, and that time Schonert just decided to roll out to the right.
1st down, 10 Cardinals. The ball at the 17-yard line. The running backs, Hooper and Dotterer, in behind Turk Schonert. They are split. Marjoram to the far side. This time playing kind of on the wing is the tight end Pat Bowe. Bowe now goes in motion. And this time, this is Hooper to the left side being pursued. The Bears trying to string the play out, but Hooper still manages to get a couple down to about the 15-yard line before Darnell Chapman runs him out of bounds.
Rich Dixon had a good shot at him, but that just shows the difference in the matchup between the fullback. And Hooper has great speed. He was able to get out around Rich Dixon, and then finally had to be cornered outside, but only a pickup of 1. It's going to make it 2nd and a long 9.
They give him a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Hooper and White now the running backs behind Schonert. Marjoram goes to the short side, the far side. Andre Tyler comes to the near side on 2nd down and 8. Schonert has not been pressured greatly by the Bears. Play action again. This time they come after him. Schonert in trouble, rolls away from it once more. Has time, throws to the end zone all by himself. Is Andre Tyler for the touchdown, Stanford. Credit Turk Schonert that time, rolling away from the pressure, and all by his lonesome in the end zone was Andre Tyler. Bears might have been thinking that Schonert was going to run, and in fact he found Tyler all by himself.
Concentration just amazing. Schonert here under a lot of pressure from the Cal defense, rolls around, but he still keeps looking toward the end zone. Just when he shows run, he lets go. Fred Williams was the man that was supposed to be covering Andre Tyler. He came up to protect against the run, and the pass complete to Tyler.
So the Cardinals 1 point away from a tie ball game. Neighbors on to take care of that business. It's placed, it's kicked, it's good. With 12 minutes, 31 seconds remaining to be played in this 3rd quarter, it is the Cal Bears 14 and the Stanford Cardinals 14. 14-14, 7:17 remaining. Stanford unable to move the football for the first time in the 2nd half. They had to punt it away to California. Now halfway through the 3rd period, a 14-14 ball game. The Bears have it. 1st down at the 30-yard line following a 10-yard punt return by Tyrone Fortee. Trips left formation. Quick drop and a screen to the flanker. That is Michael Buggs. Well defended again at the 32-yard line. Gain of a yard, maybe 2. Kevin McMillan, the man defending and doing so very well for the Stanford Cardinals. That was a quick screen to the flanker, Michael Buggs. Gain of a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9 for Cal Bears now. Bears really unable to get an offense generated here in the 2nd half. Woodard to the near side. And they will shift out of this formation now, again into the trips right formation. Booza to the inside, Buggs in the slot, Greg Woodard to the far side. Stanford putting good pressure on Rich Campbell. They do so again. Campbell has to roll, screen, wide open, and Paul Jones can't hold on to the football. That had 20 yards written all over it as Stanford was coming with its outside linebackers.
I hate to disagree with you because I saw number 50, Dave Morsey. Let's see if we could pick him up. He was over in the area of Paul Jones. Even though Chuck Evans puts Rich Campbell under a lot of pressure, as you see, he is wide open. I agree, but Morsey was coming over, and there wasn't anybody there to take him out of the play, I think, Barry. Well, but it's all academic.
It is academic. It's 3rd down and 9 in any case. The ball at the 32-yard line. Trips right with Boozer to the inside. Bugs in the slot. Woodard to the far side. Big play for California. They have not been able to generate an offense here in the second half. Stanford putting great pressure on Rich Campbell. They come again with a blitz. Campbell swings it out for Jones, and he is well defended by the Cardinals. No gain on the play. Credit Chuck Evans, 89, the left tackle, and Milt McCall, the outside linebacker, both right in the middle of that zone.
And it was also Dave Morsey in the area as he came up, forced Jones to hesitate for just a moment, and that allowed Chuck Evans then to come over and finish off the play. Watch the pass going out to the right side. Milt McCall is there as well. He hesitates for just a second, and then it's Morsey and Chuck Evans finishing off the play.
Mike Garr with another line drive kick that Tyler will take. A fair catch at about the 38-yard line. Short kick that time, and a penalty flag is down back at the 28. And we'll see what that one is all about. Stanford will have pretty good field position, and my guess is they will just take it right where they have it. It's a holding penalty against Stanford is the indication, and a big break for the California Golden Bears. That is an automatic first down, and the Bears offense gets what is a major break at this juncture of the football game.
Stanford without any penalties in the first half. Well, Cal had 2 for 19 yards, and that is the type of thing where you think your defense is finished for a little while. They can go off the field and get a breather. Now they've got to come back on and hold for 3 more downs.
Gives the California defense an opportunity to get a little bit of much-needed rest, too. It has had to play a good portion of this second half with the offense unable to move the football.
Barry. Stanford possibly trying to set up some type of return there, and as somebody tried to go down the field, somebody in that defensive line for Stanford kind of just reached out and grabbed it.
First down 10 California at the 47-yard line. In the slot or wingback formation, this time is Tuggle. Jones is the lone setback. Handoff goes to Jones to the short side. Not much there. Louis Arvanites makes the tackle for the Stanford Cardinals. The Cardinals defense right now is really playing very, very well.
And I'm wondering if, take a look at Jones isolated. He gets the handoff, but it's Arvanites who fills the hole that's opened up for him. He and Dennis Aubrey, number 65, there to make the stop, and Chuck Evans as well. But I'm wondering if maybe Cal might not be just a little tired, Barry.
Second down and 8 for the Bears at the 49-yard line. Trips left formation. Good pressure on Rich Campbell has pretty much negated that set. Campbell back to pass under a great rush again, throws a screen to Jones at midfield to the 45 to about the 43-yard line. Be close to the first down. I believe he has the first down. Dave Morsey, the inside linebacker, and Kevin McMillan make the stop. Well executed play that time, and that's a pretty good indication that the Stanford defense is really coming at Rich Campbell if you've got to throw as many screen passes as Campbell has had to throw here in the second half.
Rich Campbell had to pay the price for it, though, because number 89, Chuck Evans, was in there again. The play works, but then you wonder how much of a beating Rich Campbell could take, but it was a good gainer, and it goes into Stanford territory.
First down California at the 43-yard line. The Bears again taking what is given to them, and Stanford is really coming at them, and that sets up the screen passes. Trips right formation now. Campbell along count. Straight back to pass on first down. Everybody in the pattern. Swing pass for Jones at the 40. At the 35 to about the 30-yard line. Dave Morsey drags him down. Another first down for the Cal Bears. What is happening here so far, Stanford is now coming with a 4-man rush and almost always is bringing an outside linebacker. So California is going to the running back on little safety valve kinds of passes. Great mental games going on right now between Roger Theater and Rod Dahauer.
Isolated look at Jones. Number 50, Vince Williams, was the man that had to cover it. Morsey was the man that had to cover, but he ran into one of the officials and couldn't get over there quick enough.
Dave Palmer replaces Paul Jones, who has been a busy man on the backfield. Palmer gets the call, tries the left side, gets down to about the 27-yard line before he stood up. A gain of about 4 yards on the play. Milt McCall makes the tackle along with Rick Parker. The Stanford band, Looney Tunes, they're having a real good time. We'll have to wait for the pictures to see how this game was. Gain of 4, it'll be second down and 6. Sprague leaves, and another wide receiver comes on for California. Boozer comes to the short side. And Bugs to the far side on second down and 6. Stanford again with a 4-man rush on Rich Campbell. Over the middle to Joe Rose. Tough catch at the 20-yard line. He fumbles the football, but Booza has it, and it will be a first down for California. Kevin Bates with a good tackle on Joe Rose. That will go as a completion from Campbell to Rose, and the fumble recovery by Matt Booza.
Stanford putting good pressure on Campbell, but that time they go to the short zone, which is just right over the center to Rose. And as he's hit, he fumbles, but Matt Booza, trailing the play, comes over and recovers.
For Joe Rose's 7th catch of the day for 114 yards. He's been a workhorse along with Paul Jones. Stanford is coming with 4 men every time, and that will allow the Bears, at least theoretically, to go to its running backs and to the tight end. That is John Tuggle on a crossbuck. Gets down to about the 18-yard line, gain of 3. Chuck Evans makes the tackle.
Pretty tough to go to a football season without injury, but Chuck Evans has done just that. He's a 5th-year senior here at Stanford, is expected to be named to a lot of all-coast teams, and the pros say they like his speed and his smartness. That time, instead of rushing from the outside, he saw that it was going to be run, looped to the inside, and made the stop.
Tuggle comes off, limping a little bit. Might be a Charlie horse, as a Frisbee is removed from the playing field here, and Tuggle is replaced by Tyron Wright at the tailback spot. And now the Cardinals leave the nickel defense, and now in a more traditional little 4-man secondary. In motion goes Buggs to the far side. 2nd down and 8. Handoff this time goes to Wright. Can't hold on to the football. The Cardinals have it at the 18-yard line. Kevin McMillan is the man who recovers Tyron Wright's fumble. He never did have the handle on the football. Take another look at it. There was really nothing fancy about it. Tyron Wright might have come out of the backfield just a little bit quicker than Rich Campbell would have liked to, and he had a lunge in.
Watch where the handoff goes, because it was beyond his grasp. As you take a look at Jones going straight forward, and it just bounced right into McMillan's hands. So Stanford with a great opportunity.
So the momentum changes again, and the Cardinals have it at the 19-yard line. Schonert is the quarterback in the I formation. This is White straight ahead with room. 30 to the 32. Quick hitter inside that time. The trap block down on Dupre Marshall, and Ron Cochimilio has to make the tackle, a gain of 11 for Vincent White.
Great acceleration by the freshman from Denver, Colorado. That time he hit the hole. Quick count from Turk Schonert, went right through it. And again, only the 2nd time I can recall today, Barry, that Cochimilio's had to make a tackle.
First down Cardinals at the 32-yard line. They've had all the momentum here in the second half. Tie ball game at 14. California threatened. Tyron Wright coughed it up. The Cardinals recovered. They made a first down on first down, and they might have another one right here with Hooper gaining about 9. And now the Cardinals' running attack starts to work against the Bears. They were unable to run in the first half, only 27 yards on the ground. Hooper, the ball carrier that time, gain of 9. It'll be 2nd and 1. That's the way a quarterback likes to have it.
It's been an all-freshman running backfield for Stanford this year. Hooper started in the Arizona game. Of course, Dotter and Vincent White started from the start of the season. But then with Darren Nelson out, they've needed those young backs.
Schonert, play action this time, will go up on short yardage, rolls away from trouble again, is being rushed again, throws deep for Marjoram. Marjoram can't quite hang on at the 14-yard line. Schonert threw that ball about 56 yards in the air, and he did so off his back feet.
Let's watch it again. Schonert under great pressure from Dupre Marshall, spins away from it. And then he's got number 93. That's Marshall coming in right here and right in his face and lets go of it. As Barry said, 56 yards, and Marjoram almost came up with it. Now let's take a look at Marjoram isolated and watch the pattern that he runs. He sidesteps a forearm, then takes a cut and goes right to the corner. He's in between the defenders. That's Ron Cochimilio, number 27, and it's just over his outstretched hand.
30-yard penalty flag down. Hooper has the first down, but let's see. Going to be against Stanford. So they made the first down, but a procedure call against John Delmare. I'll get it. Delmare. The right guard. Delmar. I'll try Delmar. One out of 2. That's not too bad. You look at the California supporters here. Just drinking a beer, not too concerned about everything. There's a very exuberant cheerleader. So it's going to be 3rd down and 6 now, and the Cardinals had made the first down. Just a minute 15 seconds remaining to be played here in the 3rd quarter. If Turk Schonert keeps up this pace that he has been passing at, he will set an NCAA record for completion. Straight back to passing goes again. In trouble this time, and down he goes. in the arms of Kirk Karakozov. So for the first time, the Bears get to Turk Schonert, and the Cardinals will have to punt it away with 53 seconds left.
Kirk Karakozov this time beat Andre Hines, number 79, on the outside, and then Vincent White failed to pick him up on the block. You see Hines go down, Karakozov come around him, and he makes the sack.
Bears show a 10-man front here. Let's see if they come after this one. Ken Neighbor will do the punting. They don't. They drop off. Only token pressure up the middle. Line drive kick that Portee will let bounce, and it takes a California bounce and will go out of bounds at the 37-yard line.
Snap was just a little bit high, and Neighbor had to pull it down and was under a little bit of pressure from Cal and did not get off a good kick. He had a 56-yarder a little while ago.
Neither offense really able to do anything. The crowd is alive. The California Rooters shouting, go, go. The defense, the Stanford Rooters shouting defense.
You get a feeling that maybe one play, Barry, a big play defensively, might win this ball game now.
Exactly right. The ball is at the 43-yard line. First down, California. Booza near side. Tuggle and Jones, the running backs. Michael Buggs to the far side. Rich Campbell will throw on first down. Has a lot of time this time. Lot of time. Now he swings it out for Tuggle. Slips by the first man to the 35 to the 34-yard line. He about a yard short of the first down. A gain of 9. Secondary receiver that time. I think the primary receiver was Matt Booza, who was well covered. Louis Arvanites makes the stop for Stanford. A gain of 9. It'll be second down. A yard to go for a first down for the Cal Bears. The ball at the 34-yard line.
Rich Campbell likes to drop straight back when he has to pass, but because of the Stanford pass rush, he's having to roll out.
Shadows now starting to cover part of the field. That could be tough on some of the receivers looking back out of the sun into the shadows. Second down, a yard. Straight ahead to Jones. First down across the 30 to the 28-yard line. Covering up the football. The Bears do not want to make a mistake at this juncture of the game. Dave Morsey made the tackle, but not before the Bears have picked up a first down. California now seemingly starting to grasp hold of the momentum of the football game. The Cardinals have had it since about the middle of the second quarter. You look at fullback Greg Hooper on the sidelines. Not much he can do about it right now. He's just got to watch his defense and hope that they do the job on the Cal Bears. Booza near side, Buggs far side. Tuggle and Jones are the running backs. Long count by Rich Campbell. He will throw, has time. Now he's under pressure, steps up, and down he goes at the 32. Loss of 3 yards. Duker Dapper was the man who made the tackle, but credit the 2 tackles, Chuck Evans and Steve Ballinger, for forcing Campbell to step up to where Dapper could make the stop.
When Stanford went to the 4-man rush, that meant they could not give the type of coverage to Chuck Evans that they wanted to. So he's putting good pressure now that he's been moved to the inside. So Evans is down on the field, and let's see what the extent of that injury is. But actually, it's that double coverage that they were putting on Evans that was keeping him out before.
That, needless to say, would be a costly loss for the Stanford Cardinals. Chuck Evans, I don't think there's any question, has been the guy who has really been.
See if we could pick it up. There's Chuck Evans giving pursuit. And he just seemed, oops, he changes direction. And there's the block. Evans, I think it's sore, but I don't think he'll be out of the ball game long.
Might have just stretched something. It didn't. He's going off under his own power. A little bit of a limp, but you would have to expect he would be back. 10 minutes and 2 seconds left to be played in the football game. California moving the football, but moving it sporadically. The Stanford defense has really done a job on Rich Campbell, who has had to hurry almost everything he's done here in the second half. Michael Buggs comes to the near side. Second down and 12. In the slot now goes Booza. 3 wide receivers in the game for Cal. Campbell will throw. Everybody in the pattern. Over the middle for Booza. Makes the tough catch at the 24-yard line. A gain of about 5 yards. 7 yards. It'll be third down. And 5 yards to go for the first down. And really, there's a great resemblance to be made here between Booza and Kenny Marjoram, too. They make the tough catches.
Matt Booza with just a great concentration here as he had to watch the ball all the way in. It's Rick Jervis, number 11. And even though he hit the ground, he maintained control of it. And Jervis says, no, he didn't. But the officials say yes, and it was a good call.
The ball at the 24-yard line. Big play for the Bears here. Third down and 5. 9:15 to go in the football game. Buggs to the near side. Jones and Tuggle are the running backs behind Campbell. He will put it up on third down as time. Throws for Buggs. Tough catch at the 15-yard line. First down, California. That time it looked like Rich Campbell might have thrown the ball to the wrong side. Buggs had to turn around and come back and make the catch.
Buggs, as he was running his pattern, took a look at Gilmore. He saw Gilmore slide down, and then he came back and took the reception.
That time Rich Campbell held Matt Booza in to block for him because he has been under a great rush. 1st and 10, California at the 16-yard line. 8:36 remaining to be played in the football game. First down play. Jones gets the call. Good play by Ballinger. He stops him at the 16. Loss of a yard. It'll be 2nd and 11.
Taking a look at number 89, Chuck Evans, a defensive tackle, and it looks like it hurts him a little bit as they take a look at the ankle. Apparently when he was changing direction, he must have twisted it in under him.
Saying, oh, shoot, that hurts. For Rich Campbell so far today, 22 of 32, 302 yards. 2nd down, 11 for the Bears. Buggs near side, Booza far side. Big play, but every play is big at this point. Campbell has time this time, a lot of time. Throws for the end zone for Rose. No good, no good. Over the end line. Joe Rose doesn't think so, but I think the officials made the right call. I'm sure we'll have another chance to see this, but I'm quite sure it was the right call.
Take a look at it from the end zone. Rose stayed in, and at the last moment just went right down the center, almost like the same pattern that he ran when he caught the opening touchdown of the ball game. He has his man beat. As he comes out, his foot is out of bounds.
So the Bears are faced with a 3rd down and 11 situation, and they have called a timeout to discuss it. Roger Theater is not happy, and I think the reason he is not happy is that Rich Campbell called a timeout that he really may want later. He's also talking to the officials, and I think what he's saying is that he did not call a timeout. Nobody called the timeout. And Al Saunders and the coaching staff are really up in arms about this. And now they're saying it is a touchdown. Now, we have to get an explanation of this.
Yeah. It's a bad call on the officials. I think they're saying that one signaled that it was a touchdown. The official that maybe had the jurisdiction in that particular call. Completely.
We will take another look at it, and let's see if we can figure out exactly what the call was. Let's see if there's an official who does call it a touchdown. Very true. That's right. Bob Monsbach has made a good point here. The white part of the end zone, wherein it says Stanford, is not the end line. The end line is the white line that you can see, if we can get a shot of that you will see behind the whited out portion. So it is a touchdown on the Rich Campbell to Joe Rose pass. Somebody on the California bench noticed something. I don't know if it was Roger Theater. We'll have to try to find out after the ball game who noticed it, because there was no discussion about it.
The interesting thing is who has jurisdiction. They got to call it when they call the play that.
It will be a hotly debated issue. There's no question about it. For Joe Rose, his 8th catch of the day, 131 yards, and that was the biggest one. And it was about 2 minutes in being decided. Paul Jones, who you see watching from the sidelines here, he's competing in his final game at the University of California, the graduating senior topping off his collegiate career, having been named Home Savings Cal Bear of the Year. Our friends at Home Savings have made weekly contributions of $500 to Cal while picking the Bears' outstanding player of the game. And with this award, Home donates $2,500 to the university for a total of $8,000 in scholarship contributions. Our thanks to Home Savings and congratulations to Paul Jones, the Home Savings Cal Bear of the Year. You look at the crowd, a lot of tension here at Stanford Stadium. 85,577 people on hand, and I guarantee you not one of them has left. First down play for the Cardinals now. Straight back to pass, Turk Schoenert. A lot of time again, now under pressure, throws his outlet for Hooper. Hooper has a couple. Ron Hill makes the stop at about the 48-yard line. Call it a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down, 7 yards to go for the Stanford Cardinals.
Ron Hill this time just maintained his coverage area as Hooper slipped out of the backfield. And his job is not to watch the play, but watch the man that comes into his area. And that turned out to be Hooper. As you watch, he doesn't take any of the fakes and just stays with him and brings him down. Good job.
Schoenert has a very good ability to pick up his secondary and tertiary receivers. 2nd down and 8. right now. Schonert back to pass again. And the Bears putting pretty good pressure. Graham is after him. Schonert throws. Comeback catch by Tyler at the 43-yard line. And they say it is good. It is good at the 43-yard line. First down, Stanford at the California 43. Andre Tyler makes the tough catch.
This is the one that could prove the officials right or wrong. Andre Tyler on a comeback pattern, seeing that Schonert was in trouble. Let's see if he gets them both in. One, and I guess so. That's it.
First down 10, the ball at the 42-yard line. The Cardinals driving, they trail by 7. In motion to the near side comes Kenny Marjoram. Straight back to pass to Schonert. Filling in the pattern. Dixon has a penalty flag down. Dixon coming with a blitz from the weak side, from the strong side, I beg your pardon. And a penalty flag is down, and it's going to be holding against Stanford. Now what do? Do you take the play? Or do you take the penalty? The ball is back at midfield. It was a loss of 7 yards.
Andre Hines had the responsibility of handling Dixon. He should have been able to pick it up, but he did not. Dixon just blew right around Hines and then just sacked Schonert.
Rich Dixon, a potential All-American. There are a number of potential All-Americans on this field today. Rich Campbell, John Elway, people that you're going to be seeing next year. Vincent White, Kenny Marjoram, an absolute. Kenny Marjoram, I would think, would be a #1 draft choice right now. John Brody last year said he was the best pass receiver in the country and one of the best he'd seen in several years. As you look at statistics on Turk Schonert, 19 out of 25. The Bears putting pretty good pressure on him right now. The penalty is refused. It is second down and 18. Stanford goes into the shotgun. Marjoram in the slot inside of Tyler. Banks to the far side. Schonert will pass, has time, under pressure again, hit as he throws. Tough catch by Marjoram at the 35-yard line. Marjoram, the diving catch. Dixon hit Schonert right as he threw the ball. Schonert held his poise very well. Marjoram made the good catch, and the Cardinals are in business at the 35.
Give him an inch and he'll take a mile on you, and that's exactly the way he likes to operate. Named to the Kodak and Bob Hope All-American today. He was matched up against Greg Braceland. He slipped in between Braceland and Darnell Chapman and comes up with the reception. There's 3 yards short, though, of the first down.
What was that? Give him an inch. Third down and 3. Big play for the Cardinals upcoming. Tyler to the near side. Handoff goes to White. Tries the outside. Play is contained, and he makes the tackle. Ron Hill and Pat Graham at the 37-yard line. Fourth down play upcoming, and I would think the Cardinals will have to go for it.
One of the criticisms of Stanford is that on third or fourth down plays, when they needed to pick up the yards, they've been very conservative in their play calling. That time, instead of going with what they do best, which is maybe going to a tight end on a delay over the middle or to a back out of the backfield, instead they decide to run.
Biggest play of the ball game upcoming. 2:49 to go in the football game. 3 wide receivers in the ball game for Stanford. That is Marjoram in the slot. Banks to the far side. Tyler to the near side in the shotgun. Fourth down and 4. Schonert will throw over the middle. Tyler makes the catch at the 27. Slips a tackle. Gets to the 22-yard line. First down Cardinals. Ron Cochimilio makes the tackle, and Stanford is back in business.
Andre Tyler keeping great concentration as the ball is thrown over the middle. A lot of noise here in the stadium. You have to credit Schonert with being able to get the play off. He faked to the right and then goes to Andre Tyler, who's playing against Fred Williams, and he gets the first down.
First down 10, Cardinals at the 22. Pump fake that time by Schonert, showing great poise. Over the middle to Tyler for the first down on a 4th and 4. In the I formation now. Play action. Schonert will throw. Looks for Marjoram. Throws over the middle for the tight end. Bo Braceland gets his hand on it. Can't hang on in the end zone. Greg Braceland, the man on the deep drop, as Schonert threw it a little bit short for Bo, the tight end. It would have been a tough interception had Braceland have made the interception. Very tough.
Schonert could have completed this for a touchdown if he'd thrown it just a little bit higher. He actually threw it too low. Pat Bowe showing to the outside. He is wide open at the end zone, and then he threw it a little bit low.
Second down and 10 now. 3 wide receivers in the ball game again for Stanford. That formation has served them well. Tyler comes to the near side. Marjoram will be in the slot. They are in the shotgun. It is Gordon Banks to the far side. Hooper, the lone running back, a blitz. Everybody's in. Schonert slips it, steps up, gets to the 25 to the 20, down to the 16-yard line. Turk Schonert slipped away that time. Ron Cochimilio made the tackle, and it was a touchdown-saving tackle. Schonert doing a brilliant job of avoiding the blitz, both inside linebackers coming for the Bears.
Good play calling by the Cal defensive coaches as they sent everybody, but Schonert shows that great body strength as he has up in the top part of the body and then just dives forward for some more.
1 minute, 36 seconds remaining to be played in the 82nd big game. California coaching staff looking on. 3rd down and 4 in the I formation. Handoff is to White. White is stopped short at about the 14-yard line. The Cardinals will have another 4th down play. And it's play after big play. Braceland and Graham make the tackle on White. That time Stanford showed pass, came back with a run. Timeout is called by the Cardinals. They will talk it over. 4th down and 2. 1 minute, 11 seconds to play in a football game.
Let's see if it's not that sweep.
2 tight ends in the ball game now. Andre Tyler lines up actually as a tight end. Schonert will throw. Swings it out for White, or rather for Dotterer. 1st down at about the 9-yard line. Schonert to Dotterer on the swing pass for the 1st down. Short drop by Schonert. Ron Hill ran him out of bounds. They say it got to the 8-yard line. 1st down, goal to go Stanford.
Well, as we pointed out earlier, this is what they should have been doing most of this ball game, going to their running backs coming out of the backfield. This is a rather safe play as you just put Dotterer going to the outside, lined up on an outside linebacker, Ron Hill, and it not only picked up the 1st down, but gives them a good opportunity. 1 minute and 6 to go.
22 of 29, the numbers on Schonert, 228 yards. California with 4 down linemen now on 1st and goal. Straight back to pass. Schonert throws for the end zone for Marjoram. And all kinds of people falling all over themselves. No flag is down. Freddie Williams and Kenny Marjoram just kind of got their feet tangled up. Marjoram couldn't make the catch. I think Schonert might have thrown that one away.
It was a good call by the officials. No interference here. Marjoram trying to turn around, get himself in position one-on-one against Fred Williams, really could not. And he simply went down, and nobody here in the crowd of 85,000 is booing that call because it was a good call by the officials.
Back to pass is Schonert. Schonert throws for the end zone and throws it out of bounds, intended for Tyler. Well defended that time by Ahmad Anderson. 57 seconds left in the football game. But for all intent, there are 2 plays left in the football game. All kinds of tailgate parties, all kinds of goings on. We, in fact, having one of our very own in a mobile home that was donated to us by Homes West. They have a pretty good idea for ski enthusiasts. You can rent a mobile home from Homes West. If you'd like information about that, you need only call 664-9001. That's 664-9001. 57 seconds left to be played in the football game now. To the near side comes Marjoram. Straight back to pass is Schonert. A lot of time. A late blitz. Schonert rolls away from it. He's got room to run. Gets to the 3-yard line before he is stopped at the 3-yard line. Fumble the football. Fumble the football. And I believe the Cardinals have it. Schonert rolling away from the blitz beautifully. And he has shown an awful lot. He has shown an awful lot. Stopped at about the 2-yard line. The Cardinals have called a timeout. Rich Dixon comes off limping. Let's take another look. Watch him pick up the blitz. Just stepped up in front of the blitz. It was a delayed blitz that California came with that time.
Pat Graham was looping to the inside, and they had everybody in there, but Schonert.
Coach Emilio with the saving tackles.
And it's Paul Hibbler who comes up with the recovered fumble. So it really comes down to just 1 play in 40 seconds.
4th down play, 2 yards to go for the touchdown. Stanford will have to have this and a 2-point conversion.
I still keep looking for that bootleg by Schonert.
Marjoram to the near side in the I formation with Dotterer, the running back, behind Greg Hooper. Schonert with the call. 4th down. He rolls to his left. He will throw. Under pressure. Throws for the end zone. Broken up. And the California Golden Bears are going to win the 82nd version of the big game. There is delirium here at Stanford. Coach Emilio was the man who broke up the play. And good pressure was put on Turk Schonert that time as well. And the Bears are absolutely elated. Mike Dotterer was the intended receiver in the end zone. He was on his knees. And Schonert still threw the football in there pretty well. We will take another look at it and watch the final play of the 82nd big game.
Well, you live by the pass and you die by the pass, and Schonert rolling to his right or to his left and then came back and threw over to Dotter. Dotter was free for just a moment, but Coach Emilio with an excellent job of knocking the pass away. Not fooled at all by it.
No matter what side of this football field you happen to sit on, you have to say
it's been a great one.
Absolutely a great football game. And you have to say that if you're a Stanford partisan, if you're a California partisan, it has been an outstanding football game. So Rich Campbell now with Jones and Tuggle. I'm quite sure Campbell will just sneak it out of here. He does. And Jones just pushes him forward to about the 3-yard line. 31 seconds remaining to be played. The Cardinals.
That really tells a story on the sideline there. It's been a long time, 3 years since Cal has won a big game. Not since 1975, actually 4 years. At Stanford, very dominant the last couple of years. But it's going to be Cal's ball game, and they certainly deserve it. They have played an excellent ball game. Stanford has as well. And I don't know, Barry, I can't remember the last time I've enjoyed doing a ball game like this.
It is interesting, too. We have talked about how it has gone against the pregame predictions that it would be an offensive show. But, in fact, both quarterbacks have been tremendously impressive. Rich Campbell, very impressive. Turk Schonert, simply brilliant. I had not seen Schonert play before today, and I am really impressed. His stock as a possible professional draft choice, I'm sure, has risen a great deal today. Rich Campbell, again, just sneaks it out. And now the Cardinals cannot stop the clock. They have used their last time out. And that is going to be the last play of this 82nd big game. And the California Golden Bears will have become winners for the first time since 1975, when they won it 48-15 right here at Stanford Stadium. The clock clicks down. 5 seconds. Now 4, 3, 2, 1 second left. The ball game is over. The final gun. And the California Golden Bears are winners over the Stanford Cardinals. The final score, the Bears 21 and the Stanford Cardinals 14. We'll be back to talk with the winners right after this message. Well, back here on the floor of Stanford Stadium with head coach Roger Theater of the Cal Bears. Roger, any way you can describe the feelings you have right now after what is an emotionally draining football game?
No, I tell you, I really can't. I'm just so happy for these kids because it's been, I said it earlier, it's been the most fun I've ever had coaching, and it's like winning a Rose Bowl. Winning this football game and this crowd, and when I know about this great university and our great university to win a game like this, it means everything to us.
There were probably 5 or 6 really emotional highs and emotional lows in this football game.
Yeah, I think so. I think we started out so well, like we were going to just run Stanford off the field. And actually, the first half, we have the ball 4 times. If we don't fumble, if we don't throw an interception, it's 4 touchdowns. So I thought we really controlled the football game until they turned it around in the third quarter. I'll tell you, Turk Schoner's one hell of a football player, I think.
Let me ask you about the touchdown pass to Joe Rose. It was a play that was called out of the end zone, and then maybe 2 full minutes after that, you finally got the attention of the officials, and they changed the call. What exactly happened?
Well, our coaches upstairs, Gunther Cunningham, Don Freeze, and the Mike Church said Joe Rose had both feet in, so I called timeout, got Charlie Moffett, the head referee, over, and I said, Charlie, now wait a minute, I want to know who made that call, and I want to talk to him. So we brought the other official over, and the guy said, I blew it. He said he did come down. The marking is difficult in the end of the end zone. He said it is a touchdown, so they signaled touchdown.
And that, of course, really set the tone for the rest of the game. And yet, even after that touchdown, the defense had to come on and do the job, and they did too.
Yeah, they sure did. I tell you, Schoner almost got that thing in the end zone. And I think Hattie, you know, it's one of those things at the end of the game like that. These kids have played so well, I would hate to see them lose it, but they've got a great team also, Barry.
The big game is really still a big game, isn't it?
But that'll never change.
Roger Theater, the head coach of the California Golden Bears, and you and your staff really are to be congratulated. Did a terrific job with a team that everybody said, well, they're going to finish 8th or 9th.
Well, there's a lot of character, and I tell you, not only the team, but my coaching staff, a great bunch of guys, and I'm really proud of all of them.
Roger, again, an outstanding season. Roger Theater, the head coach of the Cal Bears, and Ron Barr right now is with a couple of the Stanford players. Ron?
Well, Barry, with us is Turk Schoner, very unhappy, as you could well imagine, with a 21-14 loss. But, Turk, what did it come down? What was that play, the one that you were going for in 4th and 2 for the touchdown?
It was a play-action fake to our tailback off the left tackle. We had fairly good success running it all day. And the tight end was supposed to block the outside backer over him and then run a sail pattern, kind of a little corner pattern. And they defensed it really well.
That's about as much pressure as I've ever seen you under today from the Cal defensive line.
Their pass rush, it surprised me. I didn't think that they had that good of a pass rush, and, you know, they were impressive. They kept the pressure on me all day long, and I'm feeling it right now. I'm pretty sore.
Turk, aside from the loss today, and obviously you got to be down about that, how would you feel about the year that you had with Stanford?
Well, individually, I'm satisfied with the way that I developed as a quarterback, and you know, I felt that I came a long way from the beginning, from an inexperienced quarterback to, at the end, I thought I developed the way a quarterback should develop.
Turk, what lies ahead for you now? Looking forward to the pros, maybe?
Yeah, you know, I'm going to sit back for a while and kind of think about what this year meant to me and everything, and I'll just wait, and if the pros want to talk to me, I'll be more than happy to talk to them and, you know, see what happens from there.
Well, he didn't have a pass intercepted in the last 6 games. He only had 6 all season long. It was a great year for Turk Schonert. A disappointing loss today, Turk, but thanks for all the great memories all during the year, especially against USC and some of the other games.
Thank you very much, Ron.
Turk Schonert, the senior quarterback who will be giving way. And Barry, I don't know, what can you say about a game like this? I'm still numb because it was such a great game.
Really not much more you can say other than the scoreboard, and the final score shows the California Golden Bears 21, the Stanford Cardinals 14. But as we said earlier, it was a game no matter what side you sit on, you had to say a great football game. For Ron Barr, Turk Schonert, and myself, Barry Tompkins, that's football this year. Have a good day. This portion of the Big Game 1979 has been brought to you by Datsun, who invites you to test drive the all-new 200 SX Sport Coupe for the drive of your life. And by Home Savings and Loan Association, the #1 savings and loan with assets over $11 billion. And by the Quasar dealers of Northern California, who feature Quasar microwave ovens, video cassette systems, and televisions. Quasar, one great idea after another.